You guys, welcome back. My name is Michelle, and you're probably watching this on my Your Wish Fulfilled YouTube channel. If you're not, go check it out there. Okay. What I want to talk to you about today is how to immediately manifest anything that you want. Okay. And I'm going to be using the example of one of the many times I was able to manifest a big manifestation. Okay. This one was in less than a day and a half, 30 hours. I was able to manifest what I deemed to be a miraculous manifestation in a day and a half for 30 hours. Okay. A day and a half, 30, it was actually 30 hours. So the miraculous manifestation that I was able to manifest was $1,000. Okay. Just a brief thing, a brief kind of catch you up to speed. My source of income was cut off at the beginning of the month. Okay. My main source of income was completely cut off, and wasn't expecting that. I was only expecting to possibly be without income for maybe about a week. Things didn't turn out that way, and it was turning into a whole month. All right. So I was needing what I deemed was a miracle because I didn't have any idea where this money was going to come from. Okay. No family was going to be able to give me that kind of money. No friends. I didn't have like any projects or financial work or anything like that looming. It really was it was going to have to be a miracle by my standards. And so I didn't have any money coming in at all, so nothing to pay any bills or anything like that with. So what I did in order to get this to happen, first of all, I needed to be clear about the money that I was wanting to manifest. And so I just looked at all the money that I had lost up to that point, and then any money that I would be needing for the month. And then I was like, I'm just going to throw a little bit extra in there, just to have a little bit of fun. And so the amount that I came up with was $1,000. Okay. I was going to work on manifesting in $1,000 as quickly as possible. Now, I didn't need $1,000 as quickly as possible, but I was like, why not hone my skills and see, what I'm capable of actually producing? So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is your core concept. All right, that's the number one thing. Your core concept is going to be the same beliefs that you carry with you, whether you're trying to manifest love, money, a job, whatever, friends, it doesn't matter. The same core concept is going to work through everything that you're trying to manifest in. And then you can add on additional self-concept affirmations that are specific for, whatever you're wanting to manifest, be it love, money, clients, fame, fortune, whatever, right? And so let's see what my core concept, and there really is only basically a core concept needs to be. Mine is that I'm the one and only operant power of my reality. Okay. Nobody's will in my reality supersedes mine. And then knowing that you can always have, be, and do anything that you choose. Okay. So you can have, so you're able. All right. And then the other one is I am worthy. I am deserving of having, being, and doing anything that I choose. Okay. So cutting that down to a bite-sized snippet is basically that I am capable and I am deserving of having, doing, and being anything that I choose. Okay. That's one of the main core concepts to have when you are wanting to manifest anything, especially when you're wanting to manifest it immediately. So if you're looking for manifesting instantly, another core concept you want to add on in there is that, where is it at? Well, basically that I'm a master of manifesting instantly. I'm a master of immediate manifestation. You can say that however you want to, whatever resonates. And then different variants of that. Like, you know, if you are calling in, like I said, for $1,000 immediately, I was putting immediately. And so the way that I worded it for that is, I have $1,000 in my bank account right now. Okay, right now means right now, not tomorrow, not next day. You know what I mean? And so that this is the way that the law of attraction and or the law of assumption works. I follow the law of assumption way more than I follow the law of attraction, because there are no limits. There are no limitations or restrictions with the law of assumption. Okay. So this is what I started to do, you guys. The first thing I did, you know, I already had my core concept in place. You know, I already knew, as far as my manifestation went, I already knew that I was able and that I was deserving. Okay. How do I know that? So this is what I do sometimes, because you may have your core concept may be intact for certain areas, but not all. Okay. So what I did, first of all, was I needed to figure out how many affirmations could I focus on without weakening my manifesting abilities. Okay. I had first looked up something called 369 manifesting, and I was going to follow that, but something told me to check in with myself, you know, and I either I can do that intuitively. Most often though, you guys, I use my pendulum. Okay. So I used a pendulum to ask yes or no questions. I'll tap into my divine self and ask that part, you know, ask myself basically, the part of me that is connected to universal knowledge, universal truth, and universal wisdom. What is right for me? Okay. And so what I did was, you know, I asked myself, what is the perfect amount of affirmations that I can say to manifest this, you know, this desire in? And what the answer that I got was 2. So 2 was enough. So, you know, I could just focus on one if I wanted to, but if I wanted to throw another one in there, it would not weaken my manifesting ability. Okay. Now, a lot of assumption states are, you know, you are not limited. I'm still working on my concept, my self-concept though. And I do believe, you know, I'm getting to a point where I'll have 0 limitations. Okay. I know I already have 0 limitations, but there's still egoic attachment to limitations right now that I'm working through. Okay. So I came up with 2 that I could focus on 2 without feeling like my brain was going to be scattered, or my energy was going to be scattered, or my focus was going to be split, or anything like that. And so the 2 that I worked on, the 2 affirmations that I chose, and I tested to make sure that these affirmations were the best to help me manifest this in, was all of my bills are fully paid right now, and I have $1,000 in my bank account right now. Okay. So I wanted to know, just because this is the kind of person I am, this is not a step that you have to do. Okay. But if you have the capability of, you know, muscle testing, using a pendulum, or just using your intuition, I'm actually going to share my screen with you guys so that I can show this to you. Okay. We're going to share. Here we go. I'm going to show you the map of consciousness. Come on. Here we go. All right. So this is what I used. Okay. So the first thing that I want to share with you guys is how this works. This is really interesting. This was created by Dr. David Hawkins. Okay. And as you'll see at the very top of the chart, we've got the level of power, you know, what's split is in the middle, the dotted line right in the middle. That's the splitting point. Okay. That's when you move from the lower half of the chart to the top half of the chart. And this chart shows you what power, the amount of power that is available to you at each different level of consciousness or emotion level or anything like that. Okay. I'm not going to really get into describing too much about the map of consciousness. I'm just going to talk to you about how I used it to gauge where my manifesting power was at for each of my 2 affirmations. Okay. And this is really interesting because it just dawned on me to do it this time. I was like, I'm going to check my level of consciousness for these. So what you need to understand about this map is that each level, okay, so at the very bottom, you can see the very first thing that's in red on the chart is shame, and it has a scale of 20. Now, in this particular thing, I'm going to say it has a manifesting power of 20, okay? And then as you move up on this, you can see guilt has 30, apathy is at 50, grief is at 75. Now, what you need to understand and how the map of consciousness is explained is that each move up at the scale is actually exponential. Okay. It's not, it's hard to explain this kind of power that is available in human language, but you just understand that when you move from one level to the next, the amount of power that becomes available to you can be exponentially measured. Okay. And so the higher that you go up the scale, I mean, there's just the more and more of available power, creative power that is available to you. Now, when you are below the level of 200, you are in an area of what is called force. Okay. If you were muscle testing or anything like that, this would test these emotions, or this way of thinking, this way of feeling, this way of viewing the world, stuff like that would test out as weak. So your manifestation power is weakened when you are in a level of consciousness below 200. Okay. Above, when you got 200 and above, so 200 is courage, the level of courage. This is where you finally come into the realization that you are able, you know what I mean? Okay. You're able, that what you want is actually, not only is it available to you, but you are capable of achieving it. Okay. We'll put it that way. And then there is the amount of power that is available to you in the top half of the map, especially as you go up the levels in the scale. It's amazing. And when I was thinking about this in terms of manifesting the power that is available to you, by putting yourself in a emotionally empowered state. Okay. Emotionally empowered states are going to be, courage, neutrality, willingness. We're looking at levels here. Okay. Courage, neutrality, willingness, acceptance, reason, love, joy, peace, and enlightenment. And the emotions that are connected with those different levels, you can see those in the map as well. Okay. So I want to share something with you just so that you can understand, because sometimes when we are wanting to manifest a miracle, let me see, I got a text. No. Okay. All right. When we are wanting to manifest a miracle, it is because it seems like there's a mountain in front of us, a mountain of a problem, an issue, needs that we have no idea that are going to be met. And the mountain seems bigger than us. Okay. Now I'm going to take you to, let's see, a Bible verse. Now, for those of you that are not into the Bible, not to worry. I'm just using this as a reference to show you how powerful putting yourself into a higher emotional state is. Okay. This is why people talk to you about, being in an attitude of gratitude. Okay. So it says here that if you have faith the size of a grain of mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, basically be removed, and it will be removed, and nothing will be impossible to you. Okay. So you see how small that mustard seed is. It's tiny, tiny, tiny. I actually I've got a little vial of real mustard seeds here. You probably can't see because I'll show it to you when I enlarge, my screen where you can see me, but I actually have a vial of real mustard seeds to just remind me how powerful my manifesting abilities are when I am in a emotionally empowering state. Okay. When I am in a level of consciousness that is, above on the second half of the map. I just want you to really look at that though, because what I'm about to tell you is that, faith, okay, we're talking about faith, but faith, really just think about all the things that are in faith. Okay. When I think about faith, it's like, I am capable and I am deserving, and what I want, I have the power to bring into my reality. Okay. And just having no doubts whatsoever, or just doesn't even have to be no doubts. Okay. Because as you move up the power, as you move up the levels, let me see where we can go back here again. Trying to get myself, no, I'm not too familiar with Google Drive. Oh, don't do that. Come on, you guys. Let me get back to where I was at. No, here we go. Yeah. Okay, let me back to my drive. There we go. We'll get back to the map. We want to get back to the map. All right, so remember how big a mustard seed is. It's very, very, very small. Okay, and so what I want to really convey, okay, so first of all, you don't necessarily have to be in perfect faith in order to manifest something. That little tiny grain of mustard seed, though, is like perfect faith. Okay. And there's humongous power in perfect faith. Perfect faith meaning zero doubt, zero self-worthiness issues. Like you are 100% confident that you can do it and that you deserve to do it and that it will come very quickly. Okay. And so as we move up the levels of this map, you can see, all right, the power that is available to you, say at the level of courage, which is 200, okay, manifestation ability, the power that's available to you can be measured in a scale of 200 versus the power that is available to you at the level of 1,000, okay? Now that it's capped at 1,000, but really this is an infinite scale. But what they say about the map of consciousness is that the human body right now cannot handle more power above the level of 1,000. Like we can't. Our physical bodies are not designed at this point in time, okay, because we are still carbon based. At this point in time, our physical bodies are not able to handle any more power than that, okay? But when you are at the level of, actually it's enlightenment, 700 to about 1,000, that's where, perfect, and I'll have to test this, that's perfect faith, okay? Perfect, and I can tell you from personal experience that when you are in perfect faith is when you can manifest instantly, okay? Instant manifestation, immediate manifestation, when there are zero doubts. Now you can still manifest anywhere through on the map where it's, level 200 or above. You can still have some lingering doubts. You might still have some self-worthiness issues. That's where, the releasing technique comes in, because it helps to kind of work through those and release those so you can move yourself up the scale and as far as your manifestation goes, or clean it up is what I like to call it. All right, so when you see this mountain, so this mountain for me would have been like, I'm needing money and I have no way of knowing where it's going to come from. And actually what I actually visualize the mountain as is my continued unconscious poverty mindset. That was the mountain. Okay. My current circumstances was just a result of that mountain. Okay. So the mountain for me was like, okay, me needing this money and my financial abundance, or my source of income being cut off, is a result of this mountain that is my subconscious poverty mindset. Okay. Or not enough, maybe not poverty, but definitely not enough. Okay. And so what I imagined was this tiny little bit of mustard seed, right? And launching that. And really all I did was I just put myself into that perfect faith. Okay. And I'll explain the actual process of what that is. But when you are able to put yourself into perfect faith, in a state of perfect faith, 100% that it's coming. The power that is available to you when you are in that state, it's like it's atomic. Okay. The power. That's why that mustard seed has the power to destroy the mountain, because even though the seed itself is really, really tiny, it's atomic. The power in that seed is atomic. Okay. Your perfect faith is atomic. Now you can still manifest, but when you're at the level of, say, like courage, you're still kind of chipping away at the mountain. You know what I mean? As you move up though, your ability to completely obliterate the mountain gets more and more and more and more powerful. You're able to take more chunks of it out at one shot and stuff like that, until you finally get up to the very top of the scale, where it's just like, boom, you just launch a little seed and it just, disintegrates the mountain, basically. Okay. I hope that is making some sense to you. I will do a lot more teaching on this to kind of help break it down so that you guys can understand a little bit more, but I really wanted to show you how putting yourself in the state of feeling it real. Okay. I'm going to talk to you now about the actual process of manifesting and why it is so important to put yourself in a emotional state of how you are going to feel when it's finally come to pass. Okay. How are you going to feel when it's come to pass? So what I did, you guys, was I wanted to test to see where my manifestation power was at for both of those affirmations. Okay. So at first I tested I have $1,000 in my bank account right now. And I was actually really surprised to know that my level of consciousness, the level of my manifesting power for this affirmation was actually above 1,000. Okay. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. At this point in time, I wasn't really sure what that meant, but I had a feeling it was like, oh, okay. If there's that much power available to me, then I'm probably not going to have to wait very long. That was kind of like my little intuitive knowing. I was like, interesting. Like there is no blocks. What that let me know is I have perfect faith that I'm going to be able to manifest that. Okay. And then I tested that all of my, it was all of my physical needs. That's what it is. Okay. I didn't test for all of my bills are fully paid right now. No, the two affirmations that I did were I have $1,000 in my bank account right now, and all of my physical needs, gas, groceries, food, things like that are fully met right now. And the level of consciousness that I tested that for was at the level of love, as you can see, which starts at level 500 and goes up to level 540, right beneath 540. Okay, so 539. And my level of consciousness for that was exactly at 530. Okay, so kind of moving up the scale a little bit. So it's kind of interesting to me, but a lot of sometimes things don't make sense, that my level of consciousness for having $1,000 in my bank account right now, I had perfect things for that. I'm not going to sit here and right now contemplate more why that would be, why one would be more than the other. I'm sure there's a reason why, and I'll uncover that at some later point. Anyway, so those were the two affirmations that I chose to focus on. Okay. So what I started to do once I got those down, okay, I figured out what my two affirmations were going to be that I was going to use for manifesting. What I decided to do then is daydream. Okay. So when we talk about the law of attraction and the law of assumption, both laws really do talk about getting yourself into the state of it already happened, not like it's happening, like you put yourself at the very end after it's already happened. Okay. So I went beyond like opening up my bank app and seeing, the $1,000 in there. What I actually was doing, what I did was I went beyond that part when I've already paid all my bills. I was already like with this $1,000 already having been manifested. What am I going to do with that $1,000? Well, I'm going to pay all my bills. Okay. So when I'm daydreaming, I'm going to put myself into a scene where all of that has already happened. Okay. So, I'm going to pay all the bills that I need to pay, put gas in the van, buy some food. And then, my daydreaming scene is myself meeting a friend of mine, and it's very, well, I shouldn't say it's very important, but it helps me to include what's called tones of reality in my daydreams, because it just makes it feel more real. It makes it feel more natural. And so in order to do that, I used a scenario in my daydream that happens on a regular basis already. And that's that me and one of my friends get together on a almost a weekly basis. We have our favorite spot that we go to, you know, we have dinner and we have drinks, we catch up and stuff like that. And we just kind of let each other know what's gone on, you know, since the last time we saw each other. Okay. So that was the scene that I was going to daydream. And what I daydreamed was being in, you know, at our favorite spot, you know, sitting across from her and just sharing, you know, how great it felt to, you know, that my bills have all been paid, you know, my bills have all been paid, you know, there's a full tank of gas in my van, you know, I've got more than enough money, you know, so all my bills are paid, all my bills are paid, all my physical needs are met, and I still have enough money left over in the bank to not only comfortably just live off of, but to, like, you know, bless somebody with. And that was what it was. My daydream was, I've got so much money left over in the bank after paying all of my bills and meeting my physical needs, and I'm in such a great mood because, you know, I manifested, you know, this miracle like a boss, like a goddess, you know, like the operant power of my reality, like I'm supposed to, that, you know, and that put me in that emotional state, like, oh my gosh, I feel so empowered. I feel so at peace. I feel so thankful. I'm just giddy, you know what I mean? That is a very, those are powerfully creative states to be in. Bliss. Yeah, I guess I was kind of in a state of bliss. I put myself in a state of bliss because that's how I was feeling. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm that powerful, you know. And what happens when you're that powerful? It's like, you know, you feel protected, you feel safe, you feel loved, you feel connected. I mean, all of your needs are met at that point, right? And that is a very, very powerful, powerfully creative state to be in when you are wanting to manifest. And that's exactly where I got myself into when I was daydreaming. And here's the thing, because these states are so powerful, you don't have to sit there and try to be in that powerful state 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know, life happens, and sometimes you just have to go and live your life. What ended up happening for me was, and this is really cool, I daydreamed and I got into that state feeling basically feeling at peace and feeling blissful and feeling happy and feeling joy and all of those things, right? And then I got back to life, you know, because I had my kids on that day, starting on that day. And that feeling, though, that feeling that I was able to cultivate and conjure up during that daydream lingered with me throughout the day. And then anytime that it would cross my mind, I would just daydream that scenario, you know, and just kind of replenish that feeling again, and then go back and, you know, do my thing. And that was really the extent of what I did. That was my process for manifesting. I daydreamed, you know, I daydreamed. That's what I did. And I just continued to do that. And how long do you do that? I already set in my mind, I'm going to do it until it's manifest. I'm just going to do it until I don't have to do it anymore. All right. And so what ended up happening was the very next day. So this started on November the 15th, and this started probably about 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning after I dropped off all the kids and did everything that I needed to do. The first time that I actually sat down and really got to work on manifesting was probably about 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. By 5:30 the next day, on the 16th, I got a text from my kids' dad saying, hey, I got $1,000 for you. It was a check that came in the mail. Okay. He didn't give me $1,000, but it was a check that I was not expecting to come through the mail for $1,000. No effing no shit. Okay. I was just like, oh my God, I was floored. And at the same time, I was so excited because, oh my God, it works. It works. It works. Oh my gosh, it works. Right. And that's basically all I did. I daydreamed my manifestation into reality. Okay. And at this, I daydreamed a miracle manifestation into reality. And the reason why, and I didn't even have to daydream a lot. I think from the time I started to the time the manifestation came in, 30 hours, I think I may have only daydreamed 3, 4, maybe 5 times. It was not that long. But the thing that we have to understand is like, and I tell you too, it's like, I went through the rest of the day. I had my kids. There were times where I got frustrated, not with my manifestation, but just frustrated, in the moment. And so a lot of people think that if they don't stay in this state, that it's going to destroy, their ability to manifest something in. And that's what we're being taught. It's like, you don't have to do that. The manifestation power of being in being in perfect faith, okay? Perfect faith is so powerful that it instantly obliterates the mountain, instantly. Instantly, okay? And so, yeah, I just wanted to share, that's exactly how you're able to manifest in something immediately. What's immediately? I believe Neville Goddard talks about it being within the span of 3 days, okay? Within the span of 3 days. So this means that you could get it the day that you set the intention out there, okay? The very next minute, it's immediately. And one of the things that I told myself too, just to kind of ease my mind a little bit, was there are, whatever the miracle is that I need, like this time I needed, $1,000. I had no idea how it was going to come. I just thought to myself, there's a million different ways that $1,000 could be dropped in my lap today. There's actually infinite, really, but that just kind of eased my mind to be like, it's none of my business how it's coming in. It's none of my business to try to figure it out. I let go of wanting to figure it out. And I let go of how. I didn't know how. I just let go of trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? That's what a miracle is. A miracle is not, you don't know. You don't know. You don't have an idea. And you may not even, you have no idea how. And so, I figured like, there's a million things that I can do to make $1,000 like that. I just didn't know what those things were. Right. And so basically it's like, if the mind kicks up any dust and says, oh, well, how is that going to happen? Well, just, it's none of my business. None of my business. That's why it's a miracle. If something that I can do, if there's something that I can do and that's what needs to be done, then that door will be made available to me, will be made known to me, and I'll be able to walk through it. But right now I don't know, and that's okay. I'm just going to put myself in the feeling state of the wish having already been fulfilled. Okay. That's how you do it. That's why I'm saying daydreaming, because we need to put ourselves in the state of the wish having already been fulfilled. Okay. What does it feel like? They call it living in the end as well. Okay. And like I said, when I was daydreaming, I picked a scene and I set it out to where it's like, okay, it's after I already got the money. Okay. It's after I already paid all my bills, after I put gas in the van, after I bought, groceries for the next week or so. Right. And now and now I'm having dinner and drinks with my friend. And what it feels like to have all of my physical needs met with enough money in the bank to be able to actually enjoy myself, and then in excess and an abundance of, so that I'm able to not only buy my dinner and drinks, but her dinner and drinks as well, and to tip the waitress very well as well. Put myself in that actual, how am I feeling? Okay, it's more than what are you thinking, it's the emotion. Okay, you got to put yourself in the emotional state of what it's going to be like having the wish fulfilled. Now, having said that, because a lot of people have a hard time connecting with, maybe some of the higher emotions. there's a reason why people talk about having an attitude of gratitude and keeping a gratitude journal, because when you do that, you cultivate a feeling of gratitude, and gratitude is in, the upper portion of the map of consciousness. And actually, I don't even see it on here where it would be at. Gratitude. You know what? I'm going to have to test it. That's what I'll do. I'll sit here and I'll test it. Actually, I'm going to do it right now. All right. We're going to find out. Let's see. Gratitude. First of all, I have permission to test gratitude, the level of consciousness of gratitude, and saying yes. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Gratitude is level 200 or above. Yes. Okay. Is it in the yellow, green, blue, violet, or indigo? Indigo. It's an indigo. Yes. Oh, gratitude's an indigo. Okay. Is it in the level of joy? It's in the level of peace. It's its own level. It's its own level. Okay. Let's see. Is it below peace? Is it below peace? It's in between joy and peace. Is it higher than peace? Gratitude's higher than peace, you guys. Okay, so what? But it's below 700. It's below 700? Dang, okay. So gratitude is really high, like the amount of manifesting power that is available to you when you can put yourself into a state of gratitude is really effing high. It's above the level of peace, which is 600, but it's just below the level of enlightenment, which is at 700. Okay, so is gratitude 650 or higher? Yes, gratitude's at 650 or higher. Okay, so 650 would be the starting port for that. Okay, so the level of consciousness for gratitude, you guys, is 650. Okay, so this is why a lot of people talk about putting ourselves into the state of gratitude, and why, and it honestly, it's one of the most easiest emotional states to put yourself into is gratitude. Because gratitude is, I mean, everything that comes up with gratitude. And maybe that's why, because it inspires all of these different feelings, and it does put you in a sense of peace. That's okay, guys. I just had an aha moment right here in front of you. Okay. And so, getting back to what I was talking about, if you're not quite sure what to cultivate the feeling of gratitude, because with gratitude, you can call that up any which way that you can. Okay. You can just put yourself in a state of gratitude for the things that you have now, and then add your affirmation into it. But for some reason, gratitude is a lot easier for people to instantly be able to connect to. Just feeling thankful. What does it feel like? Of course, you're going to feel thankful, and you're just going to feel, when you feel thankful, oh, here comes love. I feel love now. This would be made available to me. Right. So, when you are wanting to put yourself in the state of the wish already have been fulfilled, and you just kind of want a shortcut, gratitude will get you there very, very quickly. Okay. That was an extra for you guys. All right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and end that here. If you have any questions or any comments or anything you would like to add, please do so in the comment section below. If you want to book a coaching session with me to kind of help you with your manifestation, to help you kind of remove anything that is blocking you from manifesting, check the description box. Booking information is there. And then I will see you guys. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Okay. If this helped you, please do me a favor and smash the like button. It keeps my videos in the YouTube algorithm. And then share and subscribe if you feel led to do so. And I will catch you guys at the next video. Love you guys. Bye.